As soon as I became very serious with my entrepreneurial journey, I immediately got rid of my gaming console. Here's why. I entered entrepreneurship in 2017. I got rid of my gaming console around 2019. I think it was like 2019. And the reason why I got rid of my gaming console is because I noticed as I entered entrepreneurship, I had this dream. And this dream is to create a better lifestyle than the one I was currently living. Is to create a better lifestyle for my mother. Is to create a better lifestyle for those around me. Is to create a lifestyle for myself too, where regardless of what happens, if I end up in a vegetable state, I know my needs are going to be taken care of. As I entered entrepreneurship, I had a lot of these desires, a lot of these dreams, aspirations. And I found myself in the very beginning stages as I was learning how to build this business. I got into e-commerce at the time, and e-commerce is essentially what I did before is I built a website. I I learned how to build a website. I learned how to contact suppliers both domestically and internationally, and I even did online marketing, such as running ads on Facebook, Instagram, and I even learned how to do Twitter at the time. It's called Twitter. It's called X now, but it was Twitter at the time. I even knew how to get paid promotions on platforms as that as well. I learned how to do online marketing, and I learned quite a bit within that experience, as you can imagine. But the thing I learned, and the reason why I got rid of my gaming console is because I found myself going from a ordinary lifestyle. I'm a young kid, I just graduated high school, got my diploma, pursued college, and I pursued community college. It didn't work out because, long story short, my disability had put me into the hospital. I ended up having pneumonia, collapsed lungs. By me being in the hospital, I got in the hospital around December, which is where we have finals. And because we had finals and I was in the hospital, there was no exceptions that any of my teachers or professors were able to do, where they all essentially said, "I'm sorry, but you are going to have to retake the class next semester if the class is available, if there are any open spots." As you can imagine, I was very upset. That process has been a journey within itself. But th- th- back to back to talking about my gaming console is living an ordinary lifestyle, such as again, young kid, just graduated high school, pursued community college, ended up dropping out. I almost forgot to say that. Ended up dropping out, and I decided to pursue entrepreneurship. So because I'm young and I've been a gamer all my life at that time, I played games with my cousins a lot. I played games with online friends that I met online. And by friends, I'm talking about, friends that you come across online and you add them as a friend, right? And you just see if they're online. And anyhow, I remember several times, many times, me and my cousin especially, a lot of great memories, a lot of great memories. And we were playing the game, and I remember I was like, "Hey, after this game, I think we were playing zombies. We were playing Call of Duty Zombies, and I was like, hey, after this game, I gotta cut it off and I gotta do some work." And they were like, okay, yeah, yeah, cool, like no problem. And after our game ended, we were on the game probably like an hour and a half, maybe longer, and um, and and as we were playing the game, that game ended, and we're like, he was like, hey, you want to do another round? Sorry, I can't. And in the very beginning, he would be like, oh, come on, like, let's just do one more round or whatever. All right, let's do multiplayer, something a little bit shorter. And at the time, in the very beginning, I'm like, oh, you know what? Yeah, it's fine. I could do this tomorrow. I would put my work off to the side. And I began to notice that it didn't happen once, it didn't happen twice, it happened several times. And it wasn't just with my cousin, it happened with any time I was playing the game in general. I would be playing I'd be playing, I'm like, okay, you know what? Look at the time, and I'm like, okay, Vic, you know what? At 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, cut it off and get to work. And at that time, I already had a lot of stuff built, such as like my website and I had everything built. I just had to I just had to focus on my ads and things like that. And or even maybe I had to learn something new as well. There was something that my focus should have been more towards rather than gaming. So I noticed that while I was playing the game, I kept telling myself, you know what, give 1 more hour, 1 more hour. You know, I'll do it tomorrow. Or you know what, yeah, realistically, I can do it tomorrow. I would have conversations like that, and I began noticing that, and I can't remember if there was something I heard, if there was maybe a life experience that kind of gave me an epiphany or what. And all I remember is I woke up one day and I was like, you know what? This is a distraction. I need to get rid of it. Literally woke up one day to the next and I was like, I'm getting rid of my gaming console. I'm getting rid of my PS4. I never owned a PS5, but I owned a PS4. And I ended up waking up one day to the next, becoming to the understanding that my gaming console was a really big distraction for me. It was throwing me off my focus. It was preventing me from where it is I was trying to go, from where it is I was working to go, and ended up selling it and getting rid of it. And now, because I didn't have the gaming console, what happened? I got rid of one distraction, and I began to focus the time that I was spending on my gaming console. I now began spending it on this dream. And the thing I want you to take away from, actually, you know what? I think actually talking about it out loud, I think it was actually Patrick Bet-David who is the founder of Valuetainment. I think I've seen a video of him talking about eliminating distractions or becoming aware of your distractions and getting rid of it. I forgot what it was. I think it was Valuetainment. I think he actually went into a fan's house who reached out to him, and yeah, it was a Valuetainment. He did a video on it years ago, and a fan had reached out to him saying, basically, I think telling his story a little bit, and then sharing like, "Hey, can you help me? Can you help me either get a job or what?" I forgot what it was. I forgot the full context of it. Anyhow, is the guy was like, "Yeah, I'm willing to do anything." Like, he was like, "I'm willing to do anything," and Patrick Bet-David looked at the camera. He recorded everything, and he was like, "Okay, you got that?" And he was like, "Yeah," which is pretty much confirmation that he can do what he was about to do. And he went into the house and he talked with the guy for a little bit, and he was like, "You're willing to do anything?" He was like, "Yeah." He said, "All right." He got his. I think he had he had a PlayStation or Xbox, whatever. He had a gaming console, and he grabbed it, threw it outside, and broke it. And then, long story short, within the video, he ended up shaking his hand and said, "Okay, now I want you to read this book." And he gave him a book. And I can't remember the book of it. Maybe it was Your Next 5 Moves. Maybe it was that book. That's a great book as well. And yeah, it was somewhere along the lines. And I think that's what gave me the inspiration to get rid of my gaming console. I think it was that. Anyhow, regardless, there was something that inspired me to say, "Hey, this is a distraction, get rid of it." So the point is in life, anything you are trying in life, when you are trying to better yourself, what is your distraction? What is distracting you and preventing you from you achieving better, to you living a better and healthier lifestyle? What is preventing you? What is that distraction? Now that you know it's a distraction, get rid of it and become focused. For the context of this video, I want to mention that a distraction, I'm talking about things that are more so materialistically. For example, it was a gaming console. Become mindful of your relationships, because some relationships is, although yes, you need to be working towards your craft, and although you need to be focusing a lot more of your attention on this craft, your relationships around you and those that have supported you along your way and those who have helped you along the way, are too just as important as your dream. I wanted to highlight that and mention that quickly as well. I love you. I appreciate you. And remember, grow through what you go through. Much love.